Phoebe is down at the Beacon Hill studio, and I believe he's got something a little heavy.
No, I got something a lot heavy. Cosmo Macero Jr. Associates, Peter Cadgis of the Boston Phoenix. They are the heavy hitters. And gentlemen, let's dive right in. Sarah Palin coming to town tomorrow, Cosmo. What's that gut tell you?
I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be quite a crowd for the Tea Party rally. Hey, it's a movement. It's a national movement. It's been very effective in putting a lot of support behind different candidates, not least of which is Scott Brown, and I think it'll be interesting.
Peter, you don't drive. Will I see you outside of 95 tomorrow holding a sign, Palin or bust?
You may well see me outside. I want to get a first-hand look myself. I mean, what's most telling is who won't be there. You know, the state's top Republicans won't be. We all know radio talk show host Michael Graham.
What do you read into that, by the way?
Here's what I read into that. 6 months ago, Deval Patrick, was seen as a surefire loser for governor. You ask anyone today, and they'd say the odds are pretty good that he could get in there. Politics changes in Massachusetts. Scott Brown surfed the wave to get into the Senate. Now that he's in there, if he wants to be reelected, he has to be careful that he's not branded as a right-wing nut.
Cosmo, should Scott Brown be at this rally? Yesterday he was getting hammered on talk radio for not showing up at this thing. And as Peter said, people are suggesting, hey, we got you in and now you're forgetting about us. Is that what's going on?
Look, the voters got him in. I don't think he needs to be at this rally. I don't think he owes anyone anything. I think that he ran, I know, as an independent candidate, independent thinking. And you know what? He needs to be wary or be aware of what it's going to take to continue and to be reelected. And that is walking that fine line in Massachusetts that he did very well in the campaign. So I don't think he needs to be there at all.
There's the Stupak effect at work here. Get too close to the crazy right-wingers and you get burned.
Do either of you find the Tea Party, and I guess I'm asking you this, Peter, do you find them to be a not credible, crazy right-winger organization, or is this more grassroots than the media is portraying it?
I think the people who show up at the rallies are definitely grassroots. They're people who are anxious and angry. I think the leaders of the Tea Party movement are shameless egomaniacs or Republican manipulators. But the people on the ground, they're real.
And I think like any special interest constituency, which I would say they are, if they've been supportive and you're an elected official, you ought to be responsive, you ought to be aware of that, but you don't need to be bound to what their agenda is, and I think Scott Brown's doing the right thing.
Let's move to issue number 2, and there is not a huge crowd in front of the State House today, although there should be. The reason there isn't is Bob DeLeo says there will be no public debate on my casino legislation. They are debating it inside, behind closed doors, starting today, Cosmo. A, is the Speaker right to not hold public hearings on this? And B, will he get his veto-proof vote that he needs?
I think, first of all, no secret that I work for Mohegan's Son, who wants to build a casino in western Massachusetts. I think the bill is very sound. There has been tremendous debate on casino gaming, including just a few months ago up here on Beacon Hill. So there's already been tremendous debate on the issue. It's a really sound bill in which they did their homework. And I think it makes sense to move along, have that discussion, and then and bring it to a vote. As far as the veto proof, I don't know if he has those votes yet, but he's certainly doing the right types of things to build a coalition and to get that kind of majority.
Politics behind closed doors is shameful. Listen, my own personal position about gambling is I'm pro-casino, anti-slots and racetracks, which is just...
You're Deval's position.
Yeah. Now, whether if I were Deval, I would veto such a bill in this economic climate. I'll tell you this, I don't know what the governor will do, but if I was in his shoes, I would think twice before I did that. But I think it's shameful that this is being done behind closed doors.
If this passes, do you think Deval will veto it? He's talking tough, but do you think he really will veto it?
I think there is a compromise here, and I think it was reached in the bill itself in limiting the number of slot machines. I think DeLeo has made it as easy as possible or as possible for the governor to say, you know what, it's enough of a compromise. I want the destination resort gaming that I don't have to veto this. I think it's possible.
We're short on time, so I'm going to gloss over the Supreme Court vacancy for now, Peter. We'll get to that next week. In the meantime, Barney Frank in the news again. He's on a plane coming back from L.A. earlier this week. A couple of ophthalmologists start heckling him about Obamacare. Apparently words are exchanged. His His life partner says if you're trying to be bitchy girls, you're doing a good job of it. Here's my question for you, two-parter, Cosmo. One, what would you say to Barney Frank if you were sitting next to him on a plane? And two, who is your nightmare? Please don't ever have me on a plane sitting next to this person.
I'd probably ask Barney to pass the salted nuts or something like that. But as far as you know what? If I get on a plane, I look down a 14C in the aisle and I see Rachel Maddow. That's true. Give me a triple dose of Ambien and a Chivas Regal.
I like your second answer better than your first, Peter.
Whoa. I don't know. I'm not intimate with Bonnie, but he's a pretty good guy. I'd do the usual, 30 seconds polite chit-chat. Hey, can I borrow that section of your newspaper? And I'd move on. I mean, he's a very civilized guy.
And who do you never want to be caught dead sitting next to in a plane?
Well, it might be Cosmo now. Jesus. Rachel Maddow, I wouldn't mind sitting next to her. I guess,
3 Ambien, a Chivas Regal, she's fine. Because I'm out cold.
I wouldn't want to sit next to Sarah Palin. I mean,
I knew we were getting there. Peter Cadges of the Phoenix, Cosmo Macero Jr. Associates. They're the heavy hitters.